Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Cbrev. Welcome to another MLB The Show 19 card review. Today I'm going over 98 overall Signature Series Ron Guidry. This card is obtainable for free through the Signature Team Moments, so you just got to play a certain set amount of games against the computer and you'll get this card as a reward at the end. So pretty cool stuff there. Always love when they're giving out free cards. No complaints there. As far as the review of the card, I do not think this guy is very good. He was alright, but he was just one of those guys by the time I was done using him. When he popped up in the loading screen, I would kind of just cringe a little bit inside because I had a feeling that it might be a bullpen game. You know, you just have pitched with some of those guys before. I think in a different meta or a different game state, a Ron Guidry card could be good. I just don't think this is the right situation for him. I feel like I've been saying that for multiple years about Ron Guidry cards, so maybe he doesn't have a meta that's good, that he's good in, but you never know. Basically, this card is okay, but anything you can do with this card, you can do better with other left-handed pitching options. So I'm talking about guys like David Price, John Lester, Madison Bumgarner, all the Signature Series versions of those guys, obviously. All three of those guys give you what you would want out of a lefty pitcher with this kind of movement, but they do it better than Ron Guidry does. Basically, the way you want to pitch with this card is to ignore the slider primary and kind of work two-seamers and changeups. His curveball was more effective than I thought it'd be, but still not a pitch you want to throw very often. But I was highly disappointed in his slider. Usually hard sliders are pretty good. And this one does have a decent amount of movement, but I just feel like people were teeing off every time I threw the slider with this card. I don't know what it was, if it was easy to read, but definitely my least effective pitch out of all of them was the slider with this card. So that's kind of an issue when it's your primary pitch. Maybe it has something to do with the lack of speed differential. I don't know, maybe I was getting unlucky, but I just didn't think I was fooling guys very much with this card. Especially you want to be able to throw that slider early and often when it's a primary pitch, and I just felt like I couldn't rely on the pitch much. I will say one niche thing about this card that's pretty cool is he has a very interesting motion out of the stretch, so when guys are on base, which is pretty easy to pitch and locate with, and it's also super hard to read the ball out of the hand as a hitter. So I think this card performs infinitely better when runners are on base, ironically. So you're going to be pitching at your best in situations you don't want to be in, so that's kind of like the oxymoron of the day for you guys. So in general, an approach like that just isn't going to work out very well. And I don't think this card is anything but slightly above average. Like I said, if I was going to go with some other lefty starters, I would pick a couple of guys for sure over this one. So as always, we'll rate the card how he rates in the meta, and we'll rate him compared to how much he costs. How he rates in the meta, I'll give him a C+, pretty average, nothing much to say there. And for the price, I'll give him a B+, just because he is free. If you're working on a budget squad, new account, you're new to MLB The Show, this is definitely a guy you can throw in your rotation and he'll be alright for you. You can't really go wrong with free when you're on the come up. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this card review. Let me know down in the comment section below who you want me to review next. Enjoy the clips after this, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Stepping up to the plate, Steven Sanchez. He'll get to take his first cuts here. And this pitch is taken on the inner half for strike one. Turned on that one and crushed it. Just pulled it a little foul. Cobb leads off first with a pair of outs in the inning. Hit the other way out toward right field. Waiting on it is Guerrero, and he'll make the Roberto Alomar as he'll look to bring home that tying run from second with a base hit into the outfield.
His approach to the plate right here has to be to the right side. If he gets it through the infield, that tying run might come around, but at the very least, that would get the runner to third with less than 2 outs.
And a changeup swung. Scoring on the play. The first pitch on its way. Right through it here, and he's behind 0-1.
There's a slogan that's throwing too many strikes. That might be the case for this guy in this outing right here. So far, not pitching all that well. but 90% of his first pitches have been for strikes.
And indeed, the throw will finish him off as they get the put out at first, and there are 2 away now. And he is out on the tag. One away, and that's the first out. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. No balls and 1 strike. 1 out, nobody on. The next 0-2 is a swing and a miss. That's